Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome back to... This will be episode 2, part 1 of the Glock that ain't. Got here in front of me the new Polymer80 P940v2. This one's in black. There's been plenty of videos on building this thing, so I'm not going to make a big long video on how to put it together. I'll just show a couple of fast forwards and highlights, and then we get it all built. We'll get the slide on it. I don't have any ammo for this thing yet. It's back ordered. So part 2 is going to be shooting it, functionality, and some load testing. So hang tight. I'll get this thing built, and then we'll see if everything fits together. Okay, so that's the end of the machining, I guess you would call it. And we're ready to start putting parts in this thing. This tool right here, these are called end nippers. I took them, put them on a belt sander, and made them so that they cut flush along the top for cutting these little parts off here. And I didn't make up the idea. I saw it on the internet somewhere. But basically, these didn't even need to get sanded. It cut those so smooth you couldn't even feel where those parts had been. I think this front part, had you found a drill bit as big as this end mill that they supplied, 9 by 9 millimeter it says. I think you could probably center punch that piece, run a drill in there, and probably eliminate quite a bit of work for yourself. But as it was, this wasn't too bad. So stand by, and we will put this thing together. Okay, so you've seen all that before on 100 YouTube videos, 100 different channels. Building these things isn't anything new. It's not a new idea, new procedure. Maybe you haven't seen these before. Hopefully that'll help you out if you do build one of these. This took me that's the first one I've done. I want to say I got like 3 hours into it, maybe a little bit less. With so I had there was some trouble getting this front block in. It's a bit wider than the polymer frame up here, and you got to do a little trimming, and then not everything lined up perfectly through here, but got it all in. So this is where this build's going to get a little different than the ones you usually see. I didn't want to do a 9 or a 40 or a 357 because I've got plenty of 9s and 40s and 357s. I wanted to do something a little weird. So I've got this slide for it. It's a Rock Island Armory conversion. Fits a 17 or a 22 lower, and the caliber on this is 22 TCM 9R, which is basically a 223 shell cut and necked back down to 223. Give me 1 second, I'll go grab one. So again, basically it's a 223 cut down, re-necked to take a 22 caliber bullet. This is a dummy I made up, there's no primer in it. The issue you run into here is there are no components for these. You got to kind of make everything yourself. There's factory ammo, I've got some on order, it's back ordered. But if you want to hand load this, you got to do some weird stuff. I'll have a part 2 to this video, go over my hand loads and some factory stuff, but I just want to get the pistol finished for today. So a couple things I've done in here. You probably noticed as I was going through putting things together. I did the 25-cent trigger job. You can look that up on YouTube. Basically it involves polishing a bunch of parts through here. I polished these rear rails. Trigger spring is a Zev. The trigger, I just painted a factory trigger. There's nothing special about it. It's a Lone Wolf 3.5 pound connector and their ultimate adjustable block. You can adjust, there's a little set screw in there that you can adjust for trigger over travel. So just some minor stuff that I thought as long as I'm doing it I might as well make some changes to it. So we'll get this put together and see if it plays nice. Since it's not working, if I had to take a guess, I would say that this channel here needs to be a little wider for that portion of their recoil spring assembly. Once it's through, it's fine, but I think I'm probably gonna have to open that up a little bit, so stand by. Okay, I got it all back together and working. What had happened was I needed to trim up a little material. Probably can't see that. To trim up some material here and here in front of the front block, and then I was able to get the recoil spring assembly to slide back in there. Once I got that on, what I found out was that the trigger didn't work. I farted around with it a little bit, had to get online and look some stuff up, but the Lone Wolf 3.5 pound connector, for whatever reason, doesn't jive with something here or something here, I don't know. I switched it back to the factory Glock connector, and everything's good. The little hang up it's got is if you ride it in, you can see there. Slide needs a little help going all the way forward. Hopefully it's just a break-in thing, just needs some rounds put through it and to be cycled a few times. And then I got the Magpul P-Mags, painted the base plates on those red too, kind of give it a bit of an offset look, I guess. So that's it. Like I said, I don't have the ammunition for it yet. I have some hand loads, but I don't want to run them until I get a baseline on factory stuff. Factory stuff should be in a couple weeks, hopefully. Then we can do part 2, take this thing out to the range, put some rounds through it, see if it's fun, and I'll put a video up about that, so stay tuned. We'll see you then. I'm out.